Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Astral Calling, our newest show here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. It's a SpellJammer show. It's
Space.
it's filled with space girls. That's a good song. That's going to be stuck in my head now for the rest of tonight. But before we begin, a few announcements. Other shows here on the channel, of course. We have the tomorrow night Salt and Strategy. Come watch Will, Matt, Chad, and Crystal Calf play some Civilization 6. Who will die entirely terribly to barbarians first. Come and find out. Then on Sunday, we of course have the continuation of Stardew Sundays. We're doing the Stardew Valley extended mod. Come and watch us begin working through summer. It's making good progress. We're going to go for perfection. Last week, we beat Prairie King for the first time ever. And that is a challenge in Stardew Valley if you play Stardew. Speaking of challenges, on Monday, we have the Strength of Thousands AP. That's run by Matt. And we're going to be doing something big in that one. I think we're still chasing after Marauders. Oh no, we're looking through the orchard still. We're looking through the orchard, not orchid.
The orchid?
Yes, the orchid.
The orchard where the Marauders are, hopefully.
Yes.
Or at least some escaped prisoners.
Speaking of escapes, we have on Wednesday the League of Amazing Adventurers, where our party will finally escape Nimbus's sending sessions.
Shots fired?
Wow.
I thought that was a really good segue.
Wow. It was a bad segue. I hated it.
But on Wednesday, we are going to be beginning the level 20 Lightfall campaign. Our characters need to kill a god. And the amount of gods we kill in my games is...
As one does.
I think it's just like...
Has something to do with the religious trauma.
It might just be
Hi, guys.
Trauma.
It might just be a crutch that I use for writing.
As one
I
does.
blame Final Fantasy.
Uh-oh. That'll do it too.
Yeah, I will.
Let's get together and kill God.
Yeah, let's collect 4 different crystals of the elements and kill a god. Final Fantasy.
Or hey, if you're Atlas, let's be kids in high school and kill God.
Or
It's
let's
what
go
Nietzsche
on a
would have
pilgrimage
wanted.
thinking that we have to die and then decide to kill God instead.
That was the one with that was from the Final Fantasy with the laughing scene.
Yes.
That's my favorite Final Fantasy.
Ha 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 ha.
I never finished it.
It's so good.
I have
It's
no
my
clue what you guys are
favorite.
talking
Yeah,
about.
I have zero
Like,
context.
oh,
for this.
okay.
I've
Vague,
never
I
played
have-
Hannah and Maya,
fantasy
you have
games.
invited this into your own lives.
Yeah.
I only know
Sorry.
because of internet
I'm going to
osmosis.
send you the
Yeah,
laughing
you
scene
should.
later.
It's-
It's a meme.
But
It's great.
those are all of our announcements for programming. Now, cast announcements. As you can see, we have a new cast member with us tonight. Maya, why don't you take a sec to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, everybody. I'm Maya. My pronouns are she, her. Yeah, I'm excited to join the campaign. I don't think I've ever streamed a campaign that I've been a part of before, so this is a new experience for me. I am an actor and in the entertainment business, though, so I am not unused to doing the camera thing. So, yeah.
We will teach you the sacred art of begging for hero points. So your
Yes.
character has life insurance.
Yes.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Amazing.
Then, of course, we have the person responsible for the beautiful overlay that you see on the channel tonight. Matthew, introduce yourself to the audience. We'll introduce characters when we're in the game. So,
Okay.
just yourself.
Hello,
right
I am
now.
I am Matthew, the possibly one of the more frequent people on this channel nowadays. Mostly thanks to Salt and Sorcery.
Yeah.
Urban off various places on the internet. I do the overlays, and eventually I'll be very pleased to do the intro for it once we have all of McKenna's wonderful character art. Oh, it's a segue into McKenna, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I was going to segue as the other person who can put up with me more than once a week, McKenna.
Yeah. Hi, y'all. I do the art for this show sometimes, except for when I don't. As you can see, we don't have any art on the overlays yet. You may see sneak peeks of mine and Rose's character, depending on whether or not we get into combat. If we get into combat tonight, Rose, it's just you and me because we're the only two people who have finished okay.
That's fine.
We're just off camera. It's
balanced. It's fine.
Oh no!
All right,
yeah,
so
send
let's
the
see.
artificer and
Pink party.
Two
Pink party.
Two
Pink
level
party.
2 level 3 characters. Yeah, about 40 Grindelows can handle. There we go.
At least they're not quippers.
Yes. Oh god, just wait till you see the space quippers.
These quippers.
Space quippers.
Like
Speaking
The
of space,
basketball team?
I wish. They are piranhas that, were it not for the generosity of chat last campaign, would have killed my character at level
Real
2.
fast.
See, my brain kept trying to put something together in my head, like somehow this was going to segue into Space Jam.
Come on, it's
speaking of Space Jam, someone who reminds me of the main character of that film, e.g. Bugs Bunny. Is Bugs Bunny the main character of Space Jam? Who would be the main character?
I don't
of
think.
Space Jam?
I mean,
It's got
technically.
Michael Jordan. Right?
Yeah.
I was going to say Bill Murray.
He's there.
I know.
Well, continuing on, lack of segue anyway. Look, Chad has a space background. That's what I was originally going for, but then I got cut off. Ooh woo.
You asked a question.
I did.
And just to instigate, because I'm here.
Yeah.
Two people have segued to McKenna tonight, and notice that segue didn't say finally. No, the word that carried a lot of weight in Will's segue. You're welcome, and that's me.
And finally, listen, if people are going to drink to it, I'm going to let them drink. We have Rose back once again. Rose, introduce yourself to the internets.
Internets, my name is Rosalie. This is my second game here with Tabletop Rules, and I couldn't be more excited to go to space. It's gonna be such a fun time. I don't know. I'm just excited. I play so many D&D games, and this is always a fun time.
So, before we get into the game, one last thing. We have hero points. Altair, one of our mods, demonstrated that, chat, you can buy those hero points for our players. That lets them re-roll things. So, say hypothetically, you've been downed by a group of piranhas, and you roll a natural 1 on your death save.
Space piranhas.
Then you use that to not die
I like that.
and re-roll.
Oh, actually, important distinction for hero points versus inspiration points. We use Pathfinder rules for hero points, meaning that if your character is unconscious, you can just use a hero point and auto succeed your death save and be back up.
You can also spend them for advantage
No,
on stuff.
I don't think I realized the whole thing about auto, but Zola never went down.
New goal!
Yeah.
That's just tempting fate.
Well, especially because this character is so much squishier.
If you had the chance,
So much squishier.
You just fucked it.
Well, I now have a new goal for this campaign. Screw telling a story. I'm killing Vim.
I need to get to level 6 so I can fly and
No,
run.
I don't think I could. I don't think like as a GM I could ever actually try to kill a character just to kill a character.
Good.
No, it's just
No, I
like
don't
a
think- I don't
happy
think it's-
accident when you're doing other
I
creatures.
don't think it's in like my core as a GM. But yes, hello, I'm Will. I run this game and many of the other games here on this channel as well. This is all homebrew content. So, it is our original universe using a game system that we bought. and play with. So.
A little shade to the OGL there.
Why not?
Just a bit. So with that, my friends, I think it's time for me to welcome you to Gilded Garden. A paradise at the center of the universe. Not actually at the center of the universe, but it has been called the center of the universe because everyone can travel to basically any major system from the Gilded Garden system, and the station that the system is named after, the Gilded Garden Station, a station that orbits a planet also known as Gilded Garden.
Who would have thought?
It's 3 Gilded Gardens, just one bigger than the other. Our party are all passenger/crew, sort of passengers that pay their way by doing some work on the ship, to a ship known as the Sunseeker. It is a very big galleon spelljammer. It has a lot of other crew members who just do menial labor, but our crew here are basically sort of seconds for some of the main crew members of the ship. We're going to meet them a little bit later. But for now, we're going to go to Gilded Garden Station proper, where we are going to see a group of 3 characters walking about, the first of which is Myark, the ship's engineer, a astral elf with sort of fairly tightly wound hair. Like, they keep it very tight in like a short bun. It has silver hair, but it kind of has like a sheen in the light. Depending on like what angle you're at, it might be a little bit more white, a little bit more gray, a little bit more metallic. They're in like some pretty like dusty engineering outfits with like grease on their apron and like some tight pants and high boots. Not a lot of skin showing just because of their work. And they're also joined by 2 of the other crew members of this ship. McKenna and Chad, why don't the 2 of you introduce your characters to us?
Do you want to go first, Chad?
Sure, why not?
Go for it.
Vim is currently a little larva boy. He's waddling along, kind of small at this point. His body is mostly kind of like that dark night sky, deep blue, but if you look closely, you can see a little, almost like pinpricks of white and gold and silver in it, and behind his head, that kind of like pushes up front, because he sits up a little bit up in the front as he's like moving along. There's like a fringe that's almost, that like some moths have that kind of hair, feathery type, and it almost just looks like gold strands fringing around his head. And that's mostly all he is for now. That's mostly all there is to him at this point.
Fair enough. McKenna?
Sort of sliding along next to Vim is a little pink blob. She's, you can kind of see right through her, and I think at a glance one might mistake her for being humanoid because that is the shape that she generally takes on. But she is, in fact, an ooze that just kind of likes to shape herself that way. She has little twin tails that if you look for long enough you can see are prehensile, and she does often use them to grab things and pick them up, and she's just sort of looking around her surroundings and trying to figure out what the next move is.
The Astral Elf leading you, Myark, begins basically leading you deeper into the station, down into some more industrial sections, passing a number of like smaller shops. Eventually you come to what could be nicely described as a hole in the wall. But it is starry skies, ship supplies, in sort of like flashing neon that's like flickering because it's kind of burning out, and the sign's off of like one of the hinges, so it's kind of just like going and the artificial fan wind that's been created in the station. Myrick just kind of looks at the two of you and says, all right, so you just gotta head in there, go to the shot counter, just tell them the Sunseeker sent you, and you're here to pick up the order. Evie, here's the paperwork, and he just kind of like hands you an order form. Other than that, the two of you should have a pretty easy time with this. I'll be outside if you need anything, so just, come and holler. I'll just be waiting right outside the door for the two of you. He just kind of smiles at you. You got this.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Edie just turns around and walks right in.
I'm going through and it's like, do you think maybe that level of, I believe in you is really kind of a I hope you can do this and not actually a vote of confidence?
That would be a weird thing to say. To say, I believe in you if you didn't actually believe in someone. I don't understand why someone would do that, but...
I think it's, to convince himself as much as it was to convince us.
It shouldn't be too difficult. Here, watch. The Sunseeker sent us. We are here to pick up our order. She hands whoever is at the clerk, the cashier's desk.
Yeah, so as you get up to that desk, behind it is this like massive ogre with 3 heads. Each one basically kind of squinting at you, one with a pair of spectacles. Their hand grabs it and moves it to another head, and that one head starts to talk, says, all right, let me just take a look at that. No, hey, let me! And then the head grabs it, puts it onto another head, and the hand pulls it in front of them, and they kind of, basically, each one reads a line, and then it pulls over to the next head. Like a sort of...
Also, so out of curiosity, is the price that's on there final?
I mean, let's see here. Oh, let's see here. It's over there. No, it's down here. No, it's up there. They change these every week on us.
Vim, we were not instructed to ask about the price.
We weren't instructed not to.
Oh.
It says it's going to be 200 credits for the thing, but it's already been paid.
Been paid.
It's
Is there a rebate?
Yeah, it's a pickup. It's a pickup.
Is there a rebate?
I mean, if you'd like, you can make me a persuasion check. First roll of the campaign. Not a
16.
natural one from Chad. An improvement from last time.
Yeah.
I look at you. Let's see. Rebates. There is the eco rebate. The eco one. Yeah, here, let's go get them. And this thing, this ogre just, maneuvers themselves. And they're, a very large creature turning around in a very tiny box. And then they just kind of, bend over, they grab. You hear, them, flicking through papers. Rebate. Ooh, snack. Rebate. They turn, and one of the heads now just has, a rat tail coming out of it. There's a eco rebate that you can send to the Xeno Regulatory Society. They just kind of slide this pamphlet under. They will give you up to... They pull the pamphlet back. 10% of your credits back.
That is 20 credits.
There you go. Okay. Hand it back.
Yeah, I was hoping for something in store. Most of the time, rebates like that, they just put them there to make it look like they're giving you a deal, but nobody does it.
Well,
So they're making the money anyway. Maybe, if it's not too much of a pain. Sometimes they just make it so much of a hassle.
And thus, one of the quest lines became to get a 20 credit rebate.
How big is this item, by the way?
Oh, it's like Snowball Mike sized.
Okay.
So it's like that big. Like
Okay.
yeah. And it's nothing. It's not a huge thing. It's like just like a little core that you put in. It's like, yeah, lots of improvements being made these days. You know, don't get it wet. Don't drop it. And if you do drop it, run away real quick.
Is it combustible?
I mean, it'll explode.
Ah. So yes.
I think that's what that means.
All right. If it's not supposed to get wet, I would suggest you carry it, Vim. I tend to just...
And she puts whatever she's holding in her hand, pencil or something, just like in her head.
Hey,
and it's not a
that's
productive
our
way to
pencil.
carry things. Oh, I apologize.
Pull it out, press digitate it, put it back.
Kind of like pick it up. One of them's just like, smells like strawberry.
That's unusual. I didn't prestidigitate it to smell like strawberries. What did... You may want to get your olfactory senses checked.
Can
to
you
make sure
even
that you aren't
smell,
having a
or do you
stroke.
have to like touch it?
I can smell. Don't wave.
They've
Just,
three
like,
sets of
waving the
noses.
pen in your face.
I can. That
they've-
actually would not help me smell it. I don't know what you're trying to achieve. I think we just need to pick up the.
They have 3 noses. One was bound to be bad. Just
That's true.
slip them his little
Hey, I
pouch
don't have
over
a
it.
bad nose. I just got a bad brother.
That
Oh, you are siblings.
Oh, what are you saying? Well, you're the bad one. That's the smart one. I'm the cute one. And
I
then
have no opinion on
the
this.
3 heads begin fighting with each other, pulling the glasses from one another. How smart are you if you can't see? How cute are you if you can't see?
I would like to pick up. We are here to pick up an order for the Sunseeker.
Oh yeah, I'm already putting my
We handed it
throwing
to
my
you.
pouch
and-
over
Okay,
it.
we're
It's-
then we're
And-
leaving.
While we
Caterpillar.
dip down though, because it's just gonna say while we dip down though, one of Vim's little like appendages is gonna cut and try to take that pencil or pen.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
I just want to see if it'll
You,
work.
you have advantage.
Nice. That's a nat 20.
First nat 20 of the game.
You steal the fuck out of that pencil.
You take this branded pencil.
Okay.
As you're heading out, it's like, I'm glad we didn't I'm glad we didn't let them take the pen. That would have come out of our paycheck.
And as they're getting out, Vim's just like, "That's gonna keep them fighting for hours,
What will keep them fighting for hours?
not knowing where the pencil went.
Where did the pencil go? They had it.
Right here,
Why?
because
Why
it'll
did
keep
you
them
do
fighting
that?
for hours.
For what purpose?
Because it's funny."
I don't get it.
My arc's just kind of standing out there as you exit. It's just like, so how'd it go?
We got a free pencil here. Yeah.
Oh, did you steal the pencil?
He did.
No. Why would you
Vim,
say
go
that?
put
Because
that
that is
back.
They can.
Vim, they take
think
that
it would-
out of. This is not a very good shop to their employees. They take that out of their paycheck
If it isn't a
just-
good shop to their employees, then why are we supporting their business?
because we can't afford anything better yet.
I just roll it into the doorway.
Like a grenade. You just roll it back.
Roll it into the doorway.
I don't know what I'm going to do with the 2 of you.
It's
All right.
technically returned.
But let's start heading back towards the Sunseeker. I'm assuming neither of you had any business on Gilded Garden as of yet, yes?
Not unless the doctor is here.
No, they are definitely not on Gilded Garden. They don't particularly enjoy civilization all that much.
No, they don't.
All right then.
I don't even know what's here.
Well, a beautiful garden. You'll see it tomorrow. I believe Captain Tross has some work for you on the station that they will want you to all accomplish before we leave. And as that group begins to walk back towards the ship, we join another group mid-shopping trip. Ooh, that rhymed. we have Darius, Luna, and Rash. So Rose, Matt, Maya, why don't the three of you describe your characters for us? Rose can go first.
Right then, I'll go first.
I don't know.
Great.
I was like, someone will.
I hate freaking silence. Okay, so Luna looks mostly human, actually. She's like 5'3" ish. She's got a full head of bright pink hair with a little ribbon on top of her head that with a bow that kind of looks like rabbit ears. Hanging up off the top of her head, and she's got kind of oversized front teeth and a fancy coat with it's like a purple and blue with stars throughout it, kind of space themed, and then just these obnoxious bright pink heeled boots with deeper pink like bows, ribbons as decoration on them. And whatever she's doing right now, she's absolutely all over the place mentally.
Fair enough. Matt, Maya, either one of you would like to go next?
Sure, I'll go. So Rash stands at her full height of 3 feet 9 inches. She is a goblin barbarian. She looks like a traditional goblin, essentially. She's pretty short and squat, but like if one were to see her working out in a gym, she would be surprisingly ripped for a grandmother. Part of which has to do with she's retired from the goblin hordes and wants a new lease on life. And also from dealing with many, many grandchildren over the years. Yeah, so that's who she is. She's a little bit of she's got a hot temper, but she can be pretty easily distracted or assuaged. She's also very single-minded on tasks. If she gets stuck on something, she's very stubborn.
Fair enough. And Matt, but not least, Matt.
So everyone may need to sit down for this one. So picture a large kind of tan and kind of cream-colored cat. But then where the cat's head would be, there's just a human-shaped torso, also covered in the same color fur, with a cat-like, human-esque kind of a mix head. A cat centaur, if you will, but only in the shape. No part of it is a human shape, really, or a human. It's human-shaped. It's much easier to visualize than actually describe. He is wearing... he does wear kind of a clothes sort of over the legs part, kind of like bridling for like a horse or bridle, I think it's called, or barding. He has well-made but not in any way flashy kind of metal armor. He has various pouches and satchels around his waist where the normal large cat's neck would be. And he carries himself kind of calmly, somewhat dignified, but not in a, nose up in the air sort of way. And he is constantly, though not in a nervous way, just kind of glancing around his surroundings like he always wants to be aware of what's going on, and he has a subtle interest in everything that is happening. And occasionally looks at concern at the two people around him.
Yes. You've been sent by the quartermaster of the Sunseeker, a pixie known as Dewdrop from a Rose's Thorn, to collect food and other shipments of sort of perishable goods and bring them back to the ship. On the note with sort of like the list of spots that you need to go to pick up the items, there is a just side note for specifically Darius and Rash, and that is and this is from the captain of the ship, Tross, to please keep an eye on Luna. Don't let her run off. Please, 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 the two of you are the most responsible people on this ship.
As we're walking, Darius actually turns to Rash and says, concerned, Elder, if you wish, I imagine it would be all right if you wanted to ride on my back. I would hate for you to grow tired.
I've got some very strong legs myself. I think I'll be just fine. Right as rain, if you will. And she slaps one of her thunder thighs as she says this.
Does Rash skip leg day?
Never once has Rash ever skipped leg day.
Admonished, I apologize for my presumption.
Oh, it's quite all right. As she's sort of giving these excuses and stuff, she's keeping one eye trained on Luna as one might a small child, just in case, like making sure they don't wander off.
Luna's just walking through this market, just picking up whatever she finds, like bringing it to her face. She'll like smell stuff, pick it up, put it down, make it like. She is fascinated by everything around her.
There's this beautiful looking fruit in a stand. It has like several spines about each of its sides. And like as you grab it, the shop owner comes around. He's like, "Be very careful with that. You don't want to open that up in a public place.
Why?
Smells real bad."
Like, how bad are we talking?
Concern.
Can I make a, I don't know, nature or medicine roll to know what the fruit is?
You can make a nature check to identify
a nature
fruit.
check.
Guarantee I know what it is, but Luna sure doesn't.
Oh, I bet I mean I know what it is, but I feel like Rash might know what it is. Let's see.
I should be clear. Like these are like purple, like porcupine-esque spines coming out of this fruit.
Okay.
Darius is going to lightly tap you on the shoulder and give you guidance.
Sweet. Remind me what guidance does.
Just a +1 to whatever you roll.
Cool. That was a 17 on the die, so.
All right. So.
An 18.
With that you can successfully identify this plant. It is a plant known as a gilded gourd. It is a common plant to the Gilded Garden system, specifically to the planet of Gilded Garden. It is a miracle gourd of sorts. Depending on where you cut it and each section of the fruit, it is edible, but each section has its own flavor. So like if you have the spines, you can take out the spines, and it has a very like sweet flavor to it, like almost like a stick of like a pixie stick except solid. Nice. If you were to eat the rind of it, it would have a very full sort of tart flavor to it, like an orange rind. And then the inside of it has a beautiful like Wagyu beef, A5 Wagyu beef flavor to it, like just super umami, super wonderful. And the only caveat is that when you do cut it open, until it is cooked, it smells awful. Like, it smells like a corpse is rotting in the corner.
Love that.
The fruit is 5 credits per the fruit. Like per
Rash
fruit.
is gonna go up to the shopkeeper and Luna and just be like, "Well, dearie, would you like to try some? Would you like me to purchase this? I can make a lovely soup or a curry for you back aboard."
Yes.
Well, you heard the little lady. So I am going to pay 5 credits.
Yep.
Was it?
They just like hand out like a slab, and you just kind of tap like another like smaller like marble slab that you have on your person to it, and that's how all credits are done. It's done with via tap.
Tap card.
Which I realize is like a new technology for the Americans. So comparatively.
Is there anything at this? Is there anything at this stall that is on our grocery list?
Not particularly. The grocery list was to go pick up from specific stalls, and you've almost gotten to them. The last stall is just like 2 stalls down to the right, and that's for some medicinal herbs.
I'm gonna hand the gourd to Luna and be like, "All right, dearie, now be very careful with this. You gotta be very responsible." I don't look at her. I look up at her.
Okay.
All right, walking over to the next stall.
The final stall there is just like a medicinal herb stall. It is run by a older gentleman, kind of like squints their eyes a little bit. Oh, we don't have anything left over for regular sale today. If you didn't have an order, I can't. Can't.
Friendly. We are here to pick up a order, I believe, that was prepared ahead of time. I can read the list for you if you would like.
If you have the, are there a ship you're affiliated with? Is there? You can just give me that. If it's an order, it's been prepared. I got you.
Pleased, yes. We. What is the name of our ship? Suddenly, I can't recall.
Oh, it's the Sunseeker, lad.
There we go.
Grateful. Thank you, Rash.
One moment. Okay, we need some spell jamming candies. There we go.
Jam candies.
Some of those. Some of those. Some of those. Some of those. Excellent. And they just hand you this like big plastic bag. Says, and of course, they say, let's see, your crew compliment. They just like grab into like a box they have of like these lollipops and just put them onto the top. There's like 25 there.
How many will make it back to the ship, I wonder?
One less.
Roll me a d8, Rose.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
We got wild magic stuff.
Grape.
Oh.
I was just thinking about grapes. I made it happen.
Manifest. Grateful. Thank you for your assistance. Is there anything else you required from us?
No, I had the order waiting here. It was prepaid. I was actually waiting for you all to close up. And then they just kind of like start folding up their tent.
Please, have a wonderful day. May the spark of creation bless you.
You too, you catman.
Mild confusion. Thank you.
I'm gonna sweep all the lollipops off the counter and all the goods into this like grocery bag that I've got with her.
Darius kind of, not in a suggestive way, but he wiggles his rear a little. You can, helpful, you can sling that over my back if you wish.
Oh, thank you, Sunny. And she absolutely does, like over like as a saddlebag, kind of almost.
That's exactly what it's for.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can carry things without actually having to carry them.
Yeah.
You're a good lad. And he gives you like almost like a little scritch on the back, like in between the shoulder blades.
Can you reach that high?
She's 3
How
feet.
high is your
How
back?
high is your back?
I mean,
Question.
how big is a large cat and then have a human torso out of the neck?
Oh,
Maybe she can
not
reach,
like your
like-
backpack.
The
Like
cat-
the
Oh.
launches.
The horizontal.
Cat
You can reach
is
that
would be.
then. Yeah, I don't have legs as long as a horse, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I also don't wear any shoes.
I've got a cat with legs as long as a horse. That's an image.
No, it's not.
I don't hate it.
I do.
I checked the list. Is there anything else we needed, or is that all?
You have everything at this point. We picked up like mid shopping trip for you all. As you're all heading back, can everyone?
We should get a gift. Oh, go ahead.
Can everyone make me a perception check?
Yeah. Y'all, I have a negative
Oh.
perception for the first time.
I am too concerned watching our little bun.
You're focused on Luna.
Yeah, now
Oh,
one.
why am I on advantage?
Oh.
I shouldn't be on advantage.
That's 18 plus 1, 19.
Nice. Then it will be Rosh who notices this. As Luna and Darius are distracted, Luna by some shiny object in a stall that maybe make a good gift, and Darius by Luna attempting to run off. Rash, you notice a newscast going across the big monitors that are set up towards the roof here. There's these sort of flying drones that have little monitors on them, detailing the fact that recently there has been a increase in pirate attacks on the Astral Sea. Space pirates have been causing issues to mainly trade ships throughout the Astral Sea, as they've discovered a fair amount of new technology, including a new type of device called a dive crasher. It is a ship that is capable of entering planar dives, not from sort of designated gateways, and it's currently the hottest sort of topic in the news sector about how are the systems going to deal with this new pirate threat.
Crash just thinks to herself about the crew and stuff, but she almost mutters under her breath and just it's a nice piece of technology. It'd be nice to get hands on that. That would be very helpful.
But
and then just goes on the way. Doesn't mention it to anyone.
Luna, you found what is basically a chocolate coin.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Oh no, Rose, your mic.
My mic.
There you go.
Oh, I
now
can
we
hear
go.
you
What's
now.
wrong with it? That's weird. All I said was, it's perfect.
The owner of that stall just kind of looks at you, looks at Darius, just kind of resigns themselves. So yeah, just take it. It's fine.
I try and slip the merchant a copper or whatever, a couple copper pieces, whatever a chocolate coin is worth.
It's 2 credits. Everything's credits.
I just place the 2 credits on the counter and just walk away.
I go up to Luna and I tug on her outfit sleeve, and I'm just now what do you say to the nice stalls person?
You got any more?
Hippity hoppity, this is now my property.
They are 2 credits apiece if you'd like more.
Can I'm roll happy right now. Can I roll persuasion on Luna to be no, you know what to say.
Just try to
P's and Q's.
Try to convince Luna without the roll.
Okay. We know our P's and Q's.
That one's the alphabet, right?
Yes. So I'm gonna spell it out for you. So you start with a P and an L and an E and an A, an S and an E.
At this point, her attention has wandered.
We'll work on it. And Rash goes up and she gives the stall a little handshake and says, "Thank you kindly." She's still learning.
You'll also notice when you tug on her sleeve that the space cord is no longer there.
Did she eat it? Amazing.
So eventually you all make your way back towards the marina, and the 2 groups do come into contact basically as you're coming back to the Sunseeker. Upon seeing the 3 of you, Myark is immediately just does a head count. Good, you've all made it back. Luna's in one piece. There's no sort of fires happening off the ship. We're good.
Pleased. I am pleased that you are pleased.
All right. Well, let's get up there. Evie, if you want, you can help me install a new core, or any of the rest of you, if you're interested. I'm happy to have some help with that. I'd be more than glad to give you a little bit of a bonus for your time if you do help out. But
Bonus.
otherwise, the ship is yours to do with as you'd like when you get onto it. And yeah.
Want to help?
Myark starts kind of like walking up towards the ship. They get on and they start heading down to engineering. So would anyone like to go with Myark?
Yes.
To help with engineering?
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
I will also go.
I'm so excited to see how Luna helps with engineering.
I think Rash unloads the bags that are specifically like food rationing, grocery related off, and heads towards the kitchens.
As you're unloading that bag, a pixie floats up beside you. Oh, thank you, Rash. It is the pixie quartermaster of this ship, Dewdrop from A Rose's Thorn, but you just call her Dewdrop. Oh, I'm so happy everything's here. Yes, we have all the candies. Wouldn't want to get spell scurvy.
Yes. Nasty thing that spells scurvy. How did a cousin die of it once?
Oh, I'm very sorry for that.
That's all right. I got plenty of cousins.
All right. But if you'd like, we can get started on the cruise rationing tonight. I do have a meal plan sort of set up already and ready to go. But, of course, any changes that you'd like to make, you're free to do so. I trust you, Rash. You're very intelligent.
Meal plan. Let's get cooking. Let's see what we got.
We should make sure that we have. We should make sure we have enough food to feed everyone throughout this journey. We are going to have 3 passengers joining us for this next leg.
She 100% is only half listening to this as are they at the kitchens already?
Well, they're probably walking. The pixie is floating with you, sort of like in a navy type of way. The kitchen's all this way. Hey, Rash, are you listening? Hey, listen.
Absolutely, Dewdrop. Whatever you say. And she starts going to the kitchen.
And then following to the kitchen just to see what scraps he can pick off.
Fair enough. Yeah. So let's go to our engineering team first. Let us start. So they come back down. Meyer kind of takes a ladder down, and then he goes and waits for Darius to get into the pulley. Darius gets into the pulley and then gets pulleyed down.
And then stairs are my big weakness.
Well, these are just straight up
stairs
ladders.
Are hard.
Oh, that's not fair to Matt.
This is bullying.
It's just straight up ladders. So it's not even stairs. It's
I mean, to be fair, I will always land on my feet.
That's, but fall damage.
As a kitten once, someone dropped me 3 inches off. They picked me up on my back, dropped me 3 inches, and I immediately spun around and landed on my feet.
Who was dropping you as a kitten?
I don't know, one of the older kids in the temple.
Reflex test.
People often ask if I was dropped on my head. I don't know.
Were you?
I don't know.
I mean, it was probably on a carpeted floor, so it's probably pretty soft.
But my arc just kind of brings you all into engineering. Specifically, the dive core goes into the planar dive, which in this ship is a pretty large spherical thing that has a sort of metal connection to the ship's bottom and to the top with a single porthole in it. And then Myers just all right, so I'm going to take out the dead drive core. And I'm going to need someone to hold on to it.
I can do it.
All right, Luna, hold on to it, but you can't let go. If you let go, the ship could explode.
Okay.
Concern, do you want some help, Luna?
No, I got it.
All right. And they just reach in, they put on the glove, they reach in, they turn, they pull out this thing, and as they're pulling it out, there's this beautiful sort of light fractal that happens. And they pull out this completely dead core. So while the core you have is sort of this greenish jade color, this one is just solid state glass, black glass that's almost completely see-through. It's all right, Luna, hold on to this.
Okay. Just before she takes it, I'm going to subtly brush her ankle with my tail and cast guidance.
Okay.
All right. Evie, if you want, you can come with me. Now the core, even if it gets a little bit wet from this stage, is fine. So you're okay to touch it. And they just kind of ask you to put the core into the machine itself for them, as they're holding on to like the actual like fractal section of it.
Evie does that, but you can see she's got about like 5 or 6 little pseudopods holding various tools around her. just in case she needs a tool. Gently.
Darius, could you secure it for us?
Certainly. Pleased. I'm happy to help.
Yes. If you'd like, Darius, you can make me a blacksmithing tools check.
Now, how does that work? Because I know there's no crafting check.
So it should be in your tools section.
Yeah, I have Smith's tools. Do I roll in that?
Yeah, so you click that, it'll say quarry, and then say strength for this.
No.
Oh, you might have it as like other proficiencies when it should be as like a specifically in the tools.
Oh.
Well, there's language, weapon, armor, and other.
Yeah,
okay.
that there should be a box above that for tool proficiencies.
Hold on a sec then. Smith's tools. Yeah, it's just throwing. It's not throwing it in.
Yeah, here I got it, Matt.
I'm trying to grab it from the compendium.
Oh no, I think you might.
No, you have to do it manually. That's why I'm setting it up for you quickly.
Okay, so as I gently pull out my tools from my belt.
There you go. It's there.
Okay. Bottom. 8. 4 plus 4.
You hit it a couple of times, and it's secured enough. Darius kind of like puts it back in, and there's some like rumbling. Yeah, okay, that should hold it. Luna, you still good?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm still
At
good.
4.
Evie, are you strawberry flavored? You look like a dessert. Are you strawberry or raspberry?
I heard earlier today that I might have a strawberry scent, but that is not something that I necessarily agree with. I suppose if you wanted to lick, I wouldn't be offended, but it might... Actually, I don't think that would be a very good idea. I think I might be poisonous.
Myark just grabs the core, the dead core from you, and then they take it to like what appears to be like a disposal section. They just drop it down a hole. Oh, it's Space's problem now.
Realization, I didn't know where that hole went.
I did. I was told not to go in there because I would just end up in space.
Understandable.
I'm so glad you listened to me, Evie.
I do listen. You say that like it is a surprise.
What?
Anyway, I'm going to finish running a few tests down here. If the rest of you want, you can head upstairs, grab Rosh on the way. I know that Captain Tross wanted to speak with all of you once we were back, and once we had gotten some work done.
I think Rash is doing alchemy in the kitchen.
Yes, no, collect them on your way. Towards Tross, the captain, who wants to speak with you.
Clatter, bang, lots of kitchen noises coming.
Well, let's
possibly
I
yelling.
have learned to not interrupt Rash when she is doing alchemy in the kitchen. If you want to interrupt Rash while she is doing alchemy in the kitchen, you may.
Luna,
but
it would be a huge help if you could tell Rash to go and speak with you with the captain.
Okay.
Thank you, Luna.
Okay.
And like as he's talking to Luna, he's just like making direct eye contact with you the entire time, Evie. Just with the fine. I'll get someone else to do it.
I wait for Luna to leave and just say,
I do
Luna
not
goes.
understand why you have sent her to possibly her death.
Evie, you are overreacting.
I assure you I am not. Can I watch you tinker?
Like I said, the captain did want to speak with all of you, but
Oh, all of us. I thought
yes,
you just meant
with
Rash.
all the group, whole group of the sort of crewmates that we had. I was going to operate the pulley for Darius from here.
Curious, I was going to ask, are we sure we're all done down here? Because I know it's a lot of effort getting me up and down that pulley, so maybe if only for absolutely sure.
We're fine. I got this.
I promise I'm working on that ring that allows me to continually teleport very short distances.
Oh, that's good.
That's to help get up and down ladders.
I might be able to make you some, like, sticky pads for the bottoms of your feet so that you may climb on.
That's all 6 of my limbs dangle as I'm being pulled up. Concerned, I worry that would be unsettling for people to see, and I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
How many campaigns can we bring in the slippers of spider climb?
I mean, it's a very useful item.
It is.
I'll see you in the kitchen, and there's like a slurping noise, and Evie disappears into one of the vents.
I'm just going to make myself a dumb waiter that I can pulley myself up in.
So, Rash, you're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
With Vim, and with dewdrops from a rose's thorn.
In the midst of making dinner for the crew, just chaos, kitchen chaos. At least 2 different saucepans going. My signature frying pan just flipping and flipping and flipping all of the ingredients in the pan. Well, I had hoped to use that what was the fruit in the market again?
The miracle gourd.
The gourd.
The gourd.
The gilded gourd.
I had hoped to use that gilded gourd for tonight's curry, but that's all right. I can make do with this. And she pulls something out of the rations and tosses it at Vim and goes, "Make yourself useful, Sonny, and cut that up for me."
Vim was just poking out of a sack of food. It's just like, wait, what? What am I doing?
She's already at the next task. Waves without looking at you. Just, grab yourself a knife and get to work.
Knife and just stabbing at this thing and trying to figure out what to do with it.
They're very if you've ever stabbed a potato to cut it, it's like you've massacred a potato.
And I'm gonna address Dewdrop and be like, Dewdrop, can you grab some of the oils and vinegars from the top shelf for me?
Yeah, I'm coming. Dewdrop looks mortified that her kitchen is in this state. Dewdrop is very particular about how she keeps things. So Rash coming in and helping her cook has been an adjustment period to her, and she still hasn't quite gotten there.
Oh,
Rash, I do wish that we would, follow the order a little bit better with things like this. And Dewdrop just brings the stuff that you need to you.
Vim just pushes.
She blindly grabs at the bottles as she's
You're not even going to measure them.
All the
I have measuring cups.
I measure with my goblin eyeballs.
I mean, as long as it's not a different kind of eyeballs.
With your heart.
Vim just pushes what
Adenia,
at this point would look like pre-chewed whatever that was onto the counter. But just because all he was doing was stabbing it to cut it up, pushes it on the counter.
So,
oh, weave fate, why did you weave this for me? Oh dear. And Dewdrop just goes and is now sitting in a corner. It appears to be a half-cut, big pale ale bottle. They've turned into a little fairy bed.
aww.
And they're just
yes, pass down in the drink, I see. All right then. And she's gonna look at the large-ish potato tuber that she'd handed you, Vim, and see that it is not in fact cut up as she wished. She's like, "God," and grumbles under her. Gotta do everything around here. Chops it up, scoops it into the pot.
You get things going pretty well. It basically comes to a state where you just have to leave it simmering for a while. And that's when Evie and Luna and Darius will probably pop into the kitchen.
Yeah, Evie probably falls out of like a vent from the sidewall and just like hits the counter with a wet like plap sound. You see Rash like a little pseudopod eye kind of like poke over your shoulder to try to see what you are doing. And this is not unusual. Evie is fascinated watching you cook because she doesn't understand the method to your madness and is trying to figure out what it is.
Darius is still looking up at the vent.
Luna will just like throw the door open wide and just waltz right in. Rash, I was just given a message for you. You've been made the captain and we have to go talk to everybody.
Oh, that was a turn of events. We just... She takes off her apron, hangs it up.
She's gotten that backwards a bit. The captain wants to speak to all of us.
Speak to us?
That makes more sense. And she puts her apron back on.
I mean, concern. If there's something going on the oven that you need to keep an eye on, I'm sure they wouldn't mind waiting a few moments rather than having the kitchen burned down. Or
Dewdrop just waves. I can handle it.
No, it's fine. Dewdrop's got it. And she...
How big is Dewdrop?
Tinkerbell sized.
Tiny, yeah.
And how big is the frying pan?
Not Tinkerbell sized.
Not more than a mage hand could probably handle.
Okay.
Make sure you don't mess up my good work.
And Rash kind of fiddles around a little bit with some of the stove work and adjusts levels so it's more on a slow cooking temp, and then joins the group.
You see, as it's sort of like getting ready to like simmer, you see Dewdrop wrapping it in some sort of like cloth around the thing that seems to like better keep the heat to simmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you head out and you head towards the deck of the ship. A number of crewmen. There's like a group of just like laborers who are set aside to pulley Darius around the ship. There's like these like two humans that are just like, and then they madly climb up the ladder, and then they attach Darius to the next pulley, and then they madly climb up the ladders.
Arm day every day.
They're going to be very buff by the end of things. But the captain, Captain
And
Tross...
proficient in athletics.
They are. Captain Tross, the Minotaur who runs the ship, is basically standing right now in the middle of the deck, looking out towards the stars, tapping at like the sort of like slate on their wrist, looking at it, nodding, and then as you all approach, looks up to you all and says, "Excellent, excellent, excellent! It is good to see you all serving so well. I've heard nothing but good things from everyone today. You've all done very good work. Have a little bit more for you to do today before we get on our way. But my arc has said that you all can at least handle going out on your own now, so I will trust their judgment." That being said, we have a number of passengers coming with us on this ship this time for our little jaunt to the Ambrosa Rose system, the ancestral sector of the Astral Elves.
Ooh.
Yes, Luna.
Is that one a moon?
There are moons.
Okay.
However, this moon does not allow non-Astral Elf nobility onto it.
Is that us?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. We'll unpack that later. Speaking of unpacking, we have 3 passengers that I need you to collect. 2 of them are staying at the same inn. It is just simply the inn at the edge of the docks there. They literally just point towards the inn that just says Marina Inn. There are 2 passengers there. Aaron Hart, a Astral Elf. gentlemen. They will have their papers, and you can confirm them. And then a human named Valduke Orally.
Orally?
Valduke Orally.
Clarifying, is Alduke a title or is that their name?
Valduke is their name.
Valduke.
Yes. Valduke
Okay. Sounded like a title.
Yes. They are staying at that inn. And then the other one, they said that they would be back towards the Marina Inn by now, but the staff have not heard from them. They did tell the staff that they were going to go check out the Gilded Tea Room at the ship. So I'd like you to all head there as well. That is a gnome. They're a bit of a travel blogger. Their name is Millis Smithall. Yes, Rose. I can't hear you, Rose.
Roaming gnome, really?
Yes.
Okay.
A gnome.
Who roams? Oh?
A travel gnome.
Yes, a
The
gnome.
roaming gnome.
A gnome travel blogger.
I wonder what kind of hat they wear.
But if you can all head towards the Gilded Tea Room, see if they're there, and if not, we might just have to leave them behind. If they are there, and if they need any help with their sort of channel or any sort of their blog work, if you can help them in a way that would provide us with a positive review, I would be happy to compensate you for it.
Rash's eyes gleam at the mention of compensation.
But yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask them now. But otherwise, be on your way. We need to be leaving by third bell. It is first bell right now, so about 2 hours from now.
Oh, dang. So we need to get going.
Yeah.
Motivated. Well, we have our task then.
What was that first name again? Valduke.
Aaronhart.
Aaronhart. Got
Yes.
it.
The Astral Elf Aaronhart.
Right.
And Lilith Smithell was in the tea room, and they were in.
And they were gnome, Millis Smithell.
Yeah, heading out.
All right. Where would y'all like to head first?
Perhaps the tea room, to make sure we don't know that if she's not there, it would be good to know that she's not there.
Confident, I agree.
All right. You head...
Even maybe we can split up and grab them both.
That might be the most efficient way to do things.
If we've got a time to keep, I don't want the ship to leave without us.
Oh, how do we want to split up?
Wouldn't leave without us. We're very important.
Well, never say never, dearie.
There is a standing order on the ship that there must be one responsible adult with Luna at all times.
Oh.
I always have a friend.
Resolved. I will look after Luna. We can go on our adventure together. We could go to the inn by the marina, or the Marina Inn.
I'll go with you.
All right, that leaves the tea room to us, Vim. Let's go.
Let's go have some tea and see about a gnome.
All right, so we'll start with the team tea room. As Darius is being... they don't make Darius go through the ship when Darius is leaving the ship. They make Darius go to the side of the ship. And then they lower him that way.
We've got to find a better workaround about this.
So it takes a little bit of time for that. So we'll go to the tea room first. So you are approaching this beautiful garden. It is a absolutely gorgeous set of rose gardens. And in the center is this tea room that has just been built up. It's sort of a gazebo with all these glass sides. And standing outside of it right now is in a full sort of butler suit, a human man. And sort of fuming, pacing in front of it is this short little gnome with pink space buns. that have like these like two smaller floating space buns just off of them that appear to also be made out of hair.
Cute.
I have to catch my ship, but I have to get this for the blog. Oh god. And you see her, she's just fuming and pacing like, oh, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill someone. I'm going to kill someone. I'm going to kill someone. I'm going to kill someone.
So I hear you're about to kill someone.
Looks like you could use some help.
Walks up.
Yeah.
Also addresses the butler, our human guy. Asks, by the way, do you have a menu here? I couldn't find anything out front.
We have a course set of food that is served here. However, I'm afraid we do not allow parties of one into the store, ma'am.
You got nothing to go?
No, we cannot do to go. The cakes here have a few exotic ingredients that require permits to have, so they cannot leave the area of the store, I'm afraid.
She blows a raspberry at him, and he's just like,
some exotic butters that we use.
How exotic does a butter have to have for you to need a permit?
It's
can't take it on the road with you. It's not worth It's not worth the salt content in it. And she turns back to the gnome. Says, "What can we help you with, dear? You are one Lilith Smithel, yes?
Yes, Millis Smithel.
Millis Smithel.
I apologize. I was letting my anger get the better of me there." And she has this, like, incredibly fake grin on her face. "I'm assuming you're with the Sunseeker."
That's us.
This is the welcome wagon.
Upset.
All right, then. So here's my situation. These lovely people of this fine establishment do not allow parties of one into their store. I have a review that I would very much like to write for my blog. And I would very much like, and she does this, like, turning her head, to eat here, but apparently even publicity with payment is not enough for them.
Rash
to let me eat alone.
Gives a huge stink eye to the maitre d' at all of this, and this very upset gnome, and grandma instincts kick in hard.
So, if the two of you would be so kind as to join me for a short meal, I would be appreciative.
She links arms with the gnome, who I assume is similar stature.
Yeah.
Well, of course, dearie. That's an easy enough task. And she links arms and walks back up to the maitre d' again and makes a big show of pointing. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. And just stares at him. And grins a big toothy grin.
He just stands there. He opens the door. "Yes, allow me to show the party of 3 that is not against our policy, as it is not a party of 1, to your table. We are happy to serve you." He smiles and starts walking you into this, like, lovely sort of section. They, like, walk over, like, a bridge because there's, like, this, like, little stream that runs through here, and they sit you at a table that's, like, right near, like, the stream running, so there's, like, this nice scent of, like, rose water coming through it. And this, like, beautiful view of, like, all these rose bushes and people playing in this, like, rose garden.
How close is one of the bushes to the table?
They're on the other side of the glass.
Damn
it. They seat you all. Millis continues to speak. Also, like, you know, I would love to hear your thoughts. If they're, like, pretty well put together, I can include them in my article. So that would be so helpful. I'd love to get, like, an outside opinion. My viewers love it. Also, she just kind of, like, hands you a, like, slate, Vim. there's like this like red button there. Would you be so kind if you can just hold that steady for a second? You just need to hit that red button. It'll start recording. I'm just
Press the red button.
All right. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Millis Across the Universe, where I go and discover different foods from across the universe. Today we're at the Rose Garden Terrace here in Gilded Garden, and we are going to be trying out their desserts. All right, you can hit the button again.
Hit the button.
All right, and then I'm just going to get a little bit of view. I'm going to take like a sort of short video of each of the dishes that they bring out for us, and then I'll do the rest of the video in my room on the ship for the night, and then I can post it then. I have to keep a very like strict schedule, and like I have makeup on right now, so I just wanted to make sure I did that before I like took the makeup off and would have to reapply it to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, you look very lovely, dear.
Oh no! Thank you. But yeah, they bring out like this first dish, which is like this sort of like stack of like coin-sized pancakes, like not like small coin, but like pretty big coin-sized pancakes. Which just sort of like this like rose butter between them and this like sort of gilded golden dust sprinkled around it. And then they have like a variety of sauces for you to try it with. There's like 3 different like marble containers that each have like a blueberry, a raspberry, and some sort of like caramel jam in it.
Rash starts, I assume each of them gets their separate plate of this, or is it all on one?
You each get a
okay.
separate plate of it, and you each get your own 3 little containers with the stuff in it.
Rash starts picking apart at it just to like examine it further and almost like deconstruct it, and just starts tearing at it a little bit, taste testing it every now and then. She's like, okay, I see what they're doing here. I see. And then fully scoops the plate up and just whole hogs it into her mouth and then downs each of the sauces like a shot.
Yeah, Vim's just drinking the jams.
Can Vim not eat solids?
What's up? He can,
Vim
but like
not
he
eat
had
solids?
snacks. This is his little like he was already eating pretty much all day, so now he's just taking the good part.
So for this first course,
Jeez.
can one of you make me a persuasion or deception check to successfully basically create like a good enough review of the food?
All right, hang on.
Do we both roll or just one?
You can both roll.
Ooh, natural 1. That's fun.
And she just looks like, to be fair, you didn't really try the food. You kind of just tried the sauces, and a sauce does not make a dish.
What kind of roll was that? Deception
Or persuasion.
or persuasion?
Or intimidation if you want to be like aggressive about it.
That feels right. And towards the intimidation, and Rash is still staring down the maitre d'. So I'm going to just roll that. It's a 10.
What's a Rash's review of the dish? I'm curious.
Rash likes it well enough. She likes the little pancake. She likes the rose butter, up until a point where like as the third pancake kind of slides down, she's had enough of the rose butter and it starts to taste like soap to her, and that's why she downs the sauces like shots. But then the sauces kind of like mixed together, and she's just kind of like, too sweet.
All right. Good. Noted. And then the final dish, because this is like a 2-course tea tasting. They bring out a coffee or tea to your liking, whatever you prefer. And then after that, they bring out this sort of like apple fritter looking thing that has been like completely solidified and glazed. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's like a chocolate embossing of like the logo on it, on the middle of it. And then also like some like candied rose petals scattered around the edge of the plate.
Rash immediately starts with the rose petals. That's all she's wanted since she first walked through like the gates of this tea house area
As
is
you,
just to eat one of the roses.
as you eat one of the rose petals, there's this like really nice like sudden change of the flavor, and then like you notice on the other rose petals that each of the little rose petals has sort of embedded in it this like little piece of candied ginger. It's a very nice flavor.
I'm going to have to remember this one. And she takes out a little like travel-sized recipe book that she always keeps with her and jots down a couple notes.
Nice.
Slips it back away.
The rest of the dish, pretty standard fare. You bite into it, it's like a really nice sort of like full pastry that's filled with like this like cut up apple. But like as you're biting it, the apple starts bitter and then gets sweeter and then gets bitter. There's 3 different apples in it.
Okay.
Then like kind of points to his and looks at them and is like, don't you think the little chocolate logo's a little tacky?
I mean, it goes down the same. She flips it up in the air and just.
For this round, you can make the same intimidation, deception, or persuasion checks.
Okay.
And if you'd like, you can tell me your review of the dish. So Vim got nice.
That was a natural 20, but I have a -1, so it's a 19 technically.
Still a natural 20.
That's funny.
So yeah, the two of you, like, the gnome very much writes down your reviews of this thing. It's like, thank you very much. My readers will really like this. I got all the footage I need for the show, so we're good there. I'm good to head back to the ship now. Thank you.
Of course, sweetheart, anytime.
And she starts walking out of the area.
I follow, and I once again kind of eye the maitre d' on the way out and say, thank you for your service.
He's like across the way, so he hears that, but like as you are all 3 exiting, he starts power walking towards you, and as you exit the building, the gnome just looks, he says, oh, by the way, I'm kind of still a struggling blogger of sorts, so we need to run.
Oh, I'm getting up on Rash's back for this. If we're gonna dash, I need some help.
Yeah, 100%. Out the door.
Yeah, and the 3 of you just book it.
Make a hot exit.
Yeah.
We should add words in the review about it being too expensive.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what they do.
And the food was very good, but poor service. And she spits on the ground.
As you're sprinting, there's like this like matron d chasing after you, just like sprinting. Eventually, you lose him in the crowd.
Leg day.
Poor man is just trying to do his job.
First session, people. First session.
At his closest, Vin definitely turns around and waves.
Fair point. Let's jump to the marina group. The 3 of you have headed towards the marina, and after about 15 minutes, Darius is landed on the area, and he can step out of it.
I get a lot of reading done.
The Darius harness, as they're calling it, and they added that to their ship for you. They're like, yeah, we like.
I mean, you got to make the future quadruped accessible.
Yeah,
accessibility is important.
it is. That's why they have vents that don't have terrible things in it for you to run through.
Anymore.
Electrify it. I do wonder though, do you clean up all the dust as you go through it? Do you have like a lot of dust bunnies in your body mass now?
Oh no, I prestidigitate them as I go.
Oh, okay.
Generally speaking, I use them often enough that they don't really get all that dusty in the first place.
So
put a pin in that.
You all make your way towards the Marina Inn. There's sort of like a waiting room area where you see basically Astral Elf and a human playing chess with each other. The human very much visibly looks annoyed as the Astral Elf puts them into check. It's like, check. Yeah, I know that's check, man. That's what,
Can
5?
make an investigation check to see if I can pick the best move to, like, save this match for him.
Yeah.
What would that be? Can it be investigation?
Yeah, it can be investigation. A chess strategy can be investigation. Yeah, you see him move. You see a move you think would do it. That he needs to just kind of move their king a space to the left.
I just tell that to him. Just point
make,
blank.
Make a persuasion check.
God, not my persuasion being higher
Oh,
than my investigation.
Thank you. I like that. That's a good idea. The human just kind of like moves. And then the Astral Elf says, "Oh, yes, that's a very good move. Unfortunately." Check.
Saying that word, but there's no bill.
It's a different kind of check. Can I make another investigation?
Go for it.
There we go, 24.
As you like go, he just looks at you and says, "Here, please take over." And he just kind of like looks at you like, "I don't know your name."
Evie.
Evie, please take over. And he sits up. Evie, Earnhardt, Evie, Valduke, Evie.
Hello, Earnhardt. Hello, Valduke.
Luna.
Hello, Luna.
Welcoming. I'm Darius.
Earnhardt just kind of like says, "Ooh, that's a good move there. That'll save you for a turn, but if I take your queen now, that will put you in a bad position." I take your queen. It appears as
On
though...
a 24, they take my queen? Fuck.
It appears as though Valduke had this set in, like, a really bad position. Like, now you're looking at the board, like, Valduke is in a very bad position. He has now a rook, a knight, and the king left. It looks like every other piece has been captured. And it looks like Earnhardt has just been toying with him.
Can I try to save this match on a 24?
Yeah,
Is there a path forward?
Oh, there is a path forward, but you will need to make one more investigation check to see if you can see that path.
16?
You move a piece. Earnhardt moves another piece in response. You move another piece. Earnhardt moves another piece. You take one of theirs. Earnhardt looks perplexed. You take another. Earnhardt moves another one of their pieces, becoming another defensive. But you saw that coming, so you take that piece with the rook. And you get it to the point where they have their king left only. You still have your 3 pieces. And then you put them in check. And then you put them in checkmate. And Earnhardt just kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, that was a good game. Truly come from behind."
Thank you. I enjoyed that a lot.
That was very fun. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself as well. It was nice to have a bit of a challenge, even though I lost. And Valduke just kind of like huffs a bit, like, children.
Oh, I apologize. We came here with a purpose, and it was not actually to play chess with you. We are meant to escort you back to the ship.
"Oh, you're with the Sunseeker," Earnhardt says. That's good. All right, I just have to grab my bag from over there, and I'm good to go." And you see Valduke beginning to pack away this chess set, which now you're like getting a close look at it is like very ornate. Like,
Yeah.
It's made of like marble and gemstone. And they just kind of like fold it up and they put it into a bag. Well, if you're here from the ship, I will come with you as well.
We can
Evie,
wait
was
for
it?
Aaron. Yes.
Thank you very much for the win. And they kind of like reach into a bag, and they will hand you a small vial of liquid.
What is this?
Consider it a gift. A tip, if you will, for the victory.
Thank you.
Can I do a
what is
medicine
inside
check
of-
on that?
Oh, it's the bottle itself is labeled. It is draconic acid.
Oh. Where did you find this?
I'm a merchant of some regard.
Oh.
Are we doing shots?
Not with that,
No.
dear. It will kill you.
No. We do not.
Ah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Can we do shots?
Of what?
What is there? What's in that?
This is draconic acid. It will kill you if you ingest it.
Okay, not that one.
Not that one.
Does the hotel have a bar?
Yes, there's a mini bar.
Can we do shots before we get on the ship?
That's not very... I mean, the ship has alcohol reserves, Valduke will say. I have some nice brandy, if that's interesting to you all.
I believe I've had brandy, nice or otherwise. I would be curious to try.
I've had a brandy once.
Reluctant. I feel like if we could enjoy a drink back on the ship more comfortably, then we wouldn't have to worry about getting back to the ship after drinking. We could just go to the ship and then drink and relax.
Especially if the alcohol is already on the ship and we do not have to pay for it. I have heard that alcohol from hotel minibars is actually marked up for no reason other than the fact that it is inside of a hotel minibar.
I nervously glance around for any staff who might be overhearing this and might be getting annoyed.
So for financial reason, I think that is the most logical course of action, Darius.
Valduke just kind of like bends over and says, "All right, we can do that." They like open up their bag that they had. They put the chest kit back into it. The bag is a beautiful bag. It's like dragon scale, like black dragon scale.
You have a lot of draconic things.
Yes, I'm a fan of dragons. I find them quite the marvelous creatures.
I just love making things out of them.
I say back in Draconic, I think they're cool.
They reply in Draconic, as do I, and the language is quite beautiful.
Lip orb.
It's
I don't
a little
understand
less.
What you're saying.
It's a little less sing-songy than Elvish, but I do like it.
Yes, you're quite fluent. You speak it very well.
Thank you. I had a decent amount of time to practice.
Oh, that's good. So many people are learning it from that dreadful owl mechanome. That
owl.
The double something.
No,
the dual something.
It is a mechanized owl you can buy. You can insert tablets into the back. It'll help teach you languages.
Why would you do that instead of use a book?
Some people do not like books.
Because owls.
Just points to Luna.
Huh? What?
Oh, you're just making.
I do like owls, but I don't know how they would help me learn a language faster.
Yes. Earnhardt pipes up. I actually have one of those devices. If that's something you want to look at.
It would be cool to see how it works.
Yes. Feel free to come by my quarters while we're flying and see it.
Okay.
All right. And yeah, Earnhardt heads out, as does Valduke. And as you all make it back to the ship, you've made it back in time. The Gnomish blogger has posted the review, and as a reward, Vim. I just said Nim, not Vim. Damn it.
We knew it was gonna happen sooner or
Took
later.
an hour and a half.
We only had 13 minutes left.
Vim and Rash, you are each given 30 credits as like a thank you for helping out with the Yelp review.
Time theory.
Didn't cost us a thing.
Nope. And the ship basically shoots off into the stars and begins sailing through the Astral Sea. However, eventually it comes to this like very ornate sort of like gate structure that's made out of golds and silvers and gems, and a small portal begins to form around that. It goes into that portal, and you are now all in a planar dive. It's sort of a shortcut that uses planar travel to travel the Astral Sea slightly quicker. The blues and oranges and purples and pinks of the Astral Sea are just like flying back by you at very incredibly fast speeds, but right now it is relatively smooth sailing. You have the ship to yourself for the rest of today. So, what would you all like to do? Does anyone have anything particular? Do you people just want to rest? It's your calls. Darius.
Darius is going to take out his little bag of tools, his little tinkerer's hammer, his bag of just random materials, and I'm going to try and make a fidget cube for Luna.
Aww.
I feel it would be a nice thing to do and also possibly a useful thing for her to have.
Yeah, use your smith tools, and let's see how well you do. It takes you a little bit of time. It's probably going to take you the night to just get everything so fine.
That's perfectly all right. A good job can take time.
Fair enough. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to do during this day of travel? Rasha.
Rash would like Rash.
I just
Rash.
I added Rose's former's familiar name to it.
Raj.
Oh, Raja.
I was like, Raja. It's like, no, Rash.
Oh.
Solid. Yeah, Rash would like to after dinner on the ship has been served and everybody's tucked in afterwards. She heads back to the kitchen to do a little tinkering of her own and pulls out her recipe book and tries to backwards deconstruct some of the recipes that were at the tea room, very specifically the rose petal ginger thing.
Do you have cooking tool proficiency?
Do I actually?
Let's see.
I hope so.
I don't think I do.
All right, then roll me a d20 and add your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
Oh,
that's I've got a +0 to intelligence, so.
You cook something. Dewdrop is very much horrified by what you cooked in her kitchen, but you cook something over that night as you're getting that done.
Dewdrop, would you like to taste test?
Oh boy.
Absolutely not. I am on a diet, and they just kind of pull the curtain on their wine bottle.
Amazing. I mean, Rash is gonna try it, so she might have horrible indigestion the next day.
It is pretty bad. Even as you bite, ooh, that's bad.
She went, well, back to the drawing board. She scoops up the entirety of the ingredients and just, I guess to describe what normally would be a sink disposal or something like that, one of those holes out of the ship that they dumped the core out of. One of those. She just dumps all of the ingredients from the cutting board just out the chute.
So it doesn't leave the ship immediately, because when you're traveling through a planar dive, you're traveling at faster than light travel, basically, and if you were to drop stuff out of the ship at that, it would just kind of stop in the Astral Sea somewhere, and that could cause little basically meteorites and kitchen scrap to damage ships that are traveling not at this speed, so they close it up. So they don't immediately exit the ship, but they're there.
Damn it.
Luna.
But we have an idea for later.
Yeah.
Luna, Vim, and
Oh, we
me.
do.
Do the three of you have anything you want to do?
I'm going to spend a good long while working with that draconic acid and identifying it and identifying possible uses for it.
It is a draconic acid vial. When thrown at an enemy, it deals a D8 of acid damage.
Not bad.
What about when ingested?
It deals a D8 of acid damage.
It wouldn't have killed me.
And gives you the poison condition on a failed con save. TC 15.
That would probably happen.
So you're going to be working on that?
Yeah, I think she tries to find perhaps other uses for it. If she were to dilute a very small amount of it, would it work as a cleaning solution to break down organic material? And just how it reacts with
other combustible substances.
That's fair. At some point during your sort of introduction to it, there's a message basically through the ship's message system. Like a message in a bottle pops out for you. It is Valduke and Ehrenhard asking if you'd like to come and join them for a night of games.
Yes.
All right.
Especially if they are strategy games. If they are games of luck, Evie gets frustrated very quickly.
They are very much strategy games. We'll come back to that once I check with Vim and Luna if the two of you have anything you want to do.
I think Vim's just poking around, seeing what he can get into in various spots on the ship.
Sure, make me an investigation or perception check.
We'll go for 7. We got a 7.
Oh, it did not. Oh, my internet's dying. That's why.
You're almost there. Hang on just a little bit longer.
There we go.
Just a little longer.
A 7. Yeah, you don't really find anything interesting.
That happens.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
The people here can't always be fun.
Yep. Luna, you getting up to anything?
So she absolutely for once remembers that she wanted to do shots. So when she gets to the ship, she does shots, and then she spends the rest of the evening just going from cabin to cabin to cabin to cabin to cabin, like all around the ship, just getting into everybody's business. What you doing? What you making?
I think Luna, as you come up to Vim, as you come up to Ehrenhardt's cabin, where Ehrenhardt and Valduke are meeting up for a game, Evie is showing up as well at that moment.
Hi, you smell like, rubbing alcohol and molasses?
Oh, that was rum and something I found in another bottle. I don't know what it was.
Oh,
It's
I
good
have
though.
heard. It is my understanding that if you mix different types of liquors, you will have a more extreme reaction to them.
Quicker.
Would you say that that's accurate?
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting. We are playing strategy games if you would like to join us.
I like games. Okay, yes. I'm very good at games.
I hope you beat me, just to be perfectly clear. I hope, like, by some stroke of luck.
So because you have 4 of you, Valduke pulls out from their bag a particular board game that they pop out. It is a large sort of map of the Astral Sea. Okay, so this is called Territory. It's a pretty easy game. A strategy game centered around capturing the most territory in the Astral Sea for your crew to plunder. You get to pretend to be a
Is it
pirate.
about a scary tree?
Yes.
Oh, you are thinking of terror trees.
That's
This is
what I
like
heard,
territory. One word.
Oh, okay.
Territory. The way that that's accomplished is you have these two. We each have our own SpellJammer. That kind of puts one onto the board, and like as he's holding it down, as he's like putting his game piece, he just kind of smiles a bit, puts it onto the board. It's like, I very much like ships. This is a classic, and he kind of like rubs the hull, the inside of the room a bit. It's quite the beautiful ship. Is why I chose to make my way on it.
Interesting. May I use this one?
Yes, go for it.
I take it and I prestidigitate it bright pink.
Fair enough. That comes off, right?
Much better.
That comes off, right? This is an antique.
Oh, yes.
Alright, cool.
It's just a magical color.
They recollect themselves, then we're good. So all we have to do now is we're going to roll these 2 dice here. That'll determine how many spaces you can move, and your ship basically can move that number of spaces, and then it's someone else's turn. It also takes you a turn to turn your ship. and then you could roll again on your next turn. You're basically trying to cordon off areas of the board from other people. Now you can try to make a risky thing and cut someone off, but if they cross your line before it's hit another side of the board or another one of your lines, it kills the rest of your line behind you. And you have to go to the edge and restart building it. So there's a certain risk reward here.
Interesting. All right.
Does that make sense for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So we're not going to actually play this game. Although, granted, the rule set, we could realistically actually play it if I built a board for it on Roll20. But
That's true with the little drawing tools. I just feel like it would take too long.
it would take way too long to do on stream. So we are going to resolve this with a simple D20 plus our intelligence. An intelligence roll. If Evie and Luna would like to roll me an intelligence check.
I would. Oh, my poor rolls.
So Luna makes a variety of overly risky moves that really shouldn't work. But before anyone's caught on to the fact that, oh, this isn't some deeper strategy, Luna has, for lack of a better word, moed her way to victory.
Amazing. Amazing.
Evie, you got third place.
Oh, yeah.
Narrowly beating.
You can see Evie flushing like a she stops being pink after a while and starts becoming a more frustrated shade of orange as she can't logic what Luna's next move might be, and therefore can't strategize around it, and you just see her just kind of slowly changing colors.
Ehrenhart just kind of scratching.
Let's do it.
Ehrenhart's just kind of scratching their head a bit. Yeah, I think you have this one, Luna. That was a good game.
What was your?
That's a good game.
It was you played a very clever strategy. What was your methodology for?
I still don't know what the rules are.
And on that note, Volduke just opens up the bag, pulls out a glass and a very expensive looking bottle, and just pops the cork off, pours it, hands it to Luna. Be careful. That's very. Do you drink it upon receiving it? So as you say, be careful. That's incredibly strong. You just knock the whole thing down. Make me a con save with disadvantage.
Pepper, baby girl.
Does Luna just throw up everywhere?
Luna, you have the poisoned condition now. The alcohol is very strong. It says, I did warn you, it's quite strong. Ehrenhart, would you be interested? Ehrenhart's just I'm technically too young to drink still. It's sorry, elves. It's no worries. Like I said, I suppose I'd be the equivalent of a teenager. I'm about 17. Oh, I was beaten by 7. Fair enough. Yourself, he hands you the glass if you're interested.
I am not 17, but I would like to try this.
Yes, go ahead. Just drink it.
I sip it delicately.
Nice.
But I do finish it.
Con save with disadvantage.
Con save with advantage because I have advantaged against being poisoned, so I guess just a regular con save.
Con save. DC is 15.
Nope.
Evie now has the poison
I'm drunk.
condition. Yes. Voldu kind of puts the board away. Ehrenhart, I believe you had a toy of yours you wanted to show off. It's not a toy, it's a learning material. Yes, I'm going to go and share the brew, so to speak, with some more of the crew that I know. I will leave you all to it. He kind of nods and heads out, and he heads out of the room. Ehrenhart then pulls out that little language learning owl. I only have a few of them. I have Sylvan, I have Celestial. These two I knew already, but it comes with them. And then I also have Abyssal.
know that one.
And
How
across
would one
across this metal
make-
owl, the feathers, they're all like sort of like finely like crafted like metal feathers, and on one of them is like a little inscription that just says Merle.
My sweet boy.
Yes.
My sweet boy has crossed universes.
He rides eternal.
If one wanted to make one of these, how would you go about it?
He just kind of like picks up the owl and brings it very close to the chest. I'm very protective of mine, but if you had your own, you could probably reverse engineer it.
Oh, take it apart and put it back together again. Yes, I suppose I could do that.
So I'm kind of protective of mine. I've had it since I was a child.
Oh. Where did you get them?
My family got it for me as a gift whilst we were back in the capital for a conference of sorts. Just kind of smiles.
What were they like?
But they're very kind. They're still alive, so, you know, no dead family, terrible backstory here. Just sent me off to school.
Some people have. Okay.
As that conversation continues, Volduke has found their way to you, Vim. They've run into you while you're looking for. Says, member of the crew, I assume.
Yeah, you could say that. I'm here a lot.
They kind of like pour this bottle into a glass. Might I offer you a drink, my friend?
What is it?
A very strong brandy. If you do not hold your liquor well, I would not recommend.
I guess we'll see.
Okay. Vim, con save, disadvantage.
All right.
That is a failure. You are poisoned.
That's going around poisoning the entire crew.
I mean, it's possibly literally setting up our own murder mystery.
Delightful.
Session 1. Will does a TPK.
Continues basically after you have your drink. It was very nice to meet you, Vim. I have a few more stops. I believe Tross and I have a date next. And he heads over and he starts basically, you see him kind of like bottoms upping and like a number of the crew taking it. Some of them don't, some of them do. Tross does. It appears to hit
I am going to
Tross.
follow him as he's going around now.
Yeah, he's just going around.
Acting sus, we gotta vent him.
Maya, eventually this human finds you as well. One of the ship's cooks, I assume. Would you like a drink of a very fine brandy that I have? Think of it as a gift, as a thank you for offering me passage.
Oh, delightful. She takes it and asks, do you mind if I try it out in a certain in something?
Oh no, please go for it.
She's gonna throw it into her frying pan and try to like use it to make the rose petal thing work.
Nice. Make me another intelligence check.
Cha 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 cha.
It gets closer. This is at least edible, by the looks of it. Are you going to consume it?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, make me a con save, disadvantage.
That'll be a straight save for me.
All right.
Ooh.
You are poisoned. But even though you cooked it, the alcohol still hits you somehow.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That is a strong.
Yes, it's a very
strong.
It is a very
Grab
strong,
my boy.
If you want to get drunk, this brandy will do it almost every time. It just kind of raises the glass to you. Heads off, continuing his through his shift, offering drinks to the crew. Coming towards Darius, kind of looks to you. One of the crewmates, I sees you're working on something. If you'd like to take a break, might I offer you a drink as a thank you for offering me passage?
Grateful. I appreciate the offer, but I unfortunately, outside of very specific occasions, I have to abstain from alcohol.
Fair enough. I'm not going to push it on you. Just kind of nods their head.
grateful for your understanding.
Starts making their way up towards like the area behind the wheel of the ship, and is just kind of like leaning out, looking at the back of the SpellJammer. Puts the bottle back into his bag, pulls out a pocket watch of sorts, and starts kind of like looking at it. Vim, do you want to make me a perception check?
Yes.
Keeping in mind you are poisoned, so you will be at disadvantage.
Yeah. 15.
You see that the stopwatch isn't like keeping time. It appears to be counting down.
Oh, what happens when that goes down?
It's a little timer for astral travel. It lets you know when the planar dive is going to come to an end. If you'd like, you can make an insight check.
Sure. 17.
Oh, he's lying to you.
Oh, that's interesting. You didn't even, like sync it up to anything. What else might it do?
He just kind of closes the pocket watch. Well, it appears as though we'll have to start earlier than I thought. And as he closes his pocket watch, his form begins to meld with his bag. And Vim, in front of you now, is a large black dragon. And as they grab onto the back of the ship and spread their wings, almost creating a break in the sail, the ship begins to slow down. And two more figures pop into the planar dive. Large, mechanized humanoid figures on these like surfboard, windboard looking things that are now coming towards the ship, weapons drawn. And as they are, the dragon roars, "Your crew now be the property of Captain Volduke Orly of the Astral Pirates." And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
That would have been so cool if Evie was there to see it.
Great.
And like, I for sure thought it was gonna be like, dragonborn or something. Nope, just a black dragon. Cool.
Dragon,
Cool. Full dragon. All right.
Everyone, thank you for coming to the first episode of the Astral Calling It. Not even Adventure Path, the Astral Calling campaign here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Join us next week as our party has an adult black dragon who's trying to steal their ship. And come and see what happens. Otherwise, I've been Will. This has been our cast. We've had Matt, McKenna, Chad, Rose, and Maya joining us, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye!
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.